to either another 160 bout. We're going to see our first Ithaca Weston wrestler coming out here.
Well, I hope everyone is enjoying today's broadcast of this Division III WIAA wrestling tournament. And, of course, boy, this is one of the all the sectionals are going to be good. We just kind of have a hankering to say this one is one of the best, if not the best.
Based on the rankings of the teams coming into it, when you have 1 through 3 before you get to sectionals.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, big turn of events down there, though. This young man from Aquinas not only got the takedown, now he's getting near fall points, and if he could get the pin. There!
Oh, he did.
I was going to say, if he didn't get that, he was at least going to tie it, but that was a huge comeback. At one point there, he was trailing 7-2 in that match.
Yeah, it was Zach Moline with the big win, come from behind as he puts Dannenberg's shoulders to the mat. The freshman not able to hang on.
So now we'll be up to 153 on those mats 1 and 2, and finishing up on mat number 3 at 144 with Flynn and Hinderman. Right now it's Hinderman out in front with a 4-1 score.
Ashton Bennett, the sophomore from Ithaca Weston at 26-9, taking on a senior and Nathaniel Esser out of Pittsville. Pittsville with a nice team last year. They got a lot of great experience with the team sectional, and I know Coach Eric Hahn, the head coach, excited about that team last year and was already counting things up for this year. So nice young head coach, getting some enthusiasm in there. And right now, Pittsville on top here with the takedown and some back points and the pin.
Yep.
So coming up with the victory is Pittsville, and he's going to move on. That is Esser, will raise his record to 19-8. And now Bennett of Ithaca Weston will have to hope for the best here with Esser and be a cheerleader for him.
Down on mat number 1, we have quite a matchup down there with Siler Zenzevich, the junior, 30-12, taking on Jackson Bender from Royal, the junior, with a 35-7 record. Zenzevich up early in that match, 2-0. Down here on mat number 3, Brock Hinderman, he's just kind of cruising along in the second period right now with that same about 6-1 lead over Flynn from Blair Trailer.
Man number 2, we are going to move out here to 157, and it's going to be Dylan O'Brien of New Lisbon, the senior at 23-13, taking on Jackson Bussey, a sophomore, and I tell you what, he's a good one for Iowa Grand Highland, 34-5.
State qualifier last year, Bussey. See, he's bucking the trend here for Iowa Grand Highland, though. He decided to here in the first round to wear his predominantly white uniform.
Yep.
Most of the IG wrestlers so far, Highland, have had the the red with the just white stripe in there and the IG on the front.
Yeah.
It's a neat part of it that each individual can choose. Bussey gets early takedown there.
He's going to go right into trying to get that half Nelson series going.
Hinderman still leading here 6-1. Down to the last 20 seconds in the second period. Zenzevich, after one period, leads 2-0 down there against Bender from Royal. Bender chooses neutral. As you mentioned before, Bussey, this is one thing we saw Tuesday night and have seen from Iowa Grant, Highland, and even Fenimore, and even to some degree even, he did get that was the end of the period. I thought maybe Hinderman got a pin there.
Oh.
But they're really good with those cross-face Turks or those, tilts, whether it's using the old Cuba City or just using a jump over from the Cuba City and going the opposite way with it. Just, high school wrestlers and even the college wrestlers are getting really fantastically, proficient at those tilts anymore, whether going right or left.
Right. Yes, you're absolutely right. It's just and it can be demoralizing if you're on the other end of it.
You just see some wrestlers just don't know how to counter it.
Yeah.
And they're afraid. Oh, they're Bussey real close to a fall there. Yep.
Yeah, he stacks him up with a nice half Nelson and runs it up over the top, and he'll pick up the pin in about a minute 37, it looked like. 1:37 pin time here for Bussy.
Bussy losing last week to Stelt. That's been kind of a back and forth battle the last couple of weeks too.
Yeah, they're on a collision course again.
Yep. Well, in the conference tournament, Bussy ran into one of the global wrestlers in the semifinals, so he didn't get to the finals. And then Stelt had one of the most fantastic finals we saw in the whole tournament. That went to the ultimate tiebreaker, where he got away and won the conference title there.
Yeah.
Defending state champion Tristan Selton. Say that, and that's him stepping on the mat down there, mat number 2, isn't
He's
it?
coming out here. And let's take a look. His opponent here is Archer Kistner, the senior out of Pittsville, 17-13 record.
As long as you mention Pittsville, you want to get that in early in the day. The first 4-time state champion in the state of Wisconsin was Matt Hanutke from Pittsville.
Yep.
Went on and had a fine career wrestling for the Wisconsin Badgers, too.
Yeah, he was a fun one to watch.
Yeah. Back then, it was almost unheard of somebody to even get to the point where they had a chance for that. And he was just a very dominating wrestler. Open the door now, and I believe we're in the double digits now, 4-timers.
Oh, yeah, we're right.
Hinderman getting close, and he did. I didn't think he was going to have enough time, but 3 seconds left. He scores the fall there for Iowa Grand Highland.
Yeah, he got off the mat. He was leading 15-3 at the time. And a pin down there with Stelt picking up the win over Kistner. So Stelt will run his record to 36-4. And Sensevich will run his record to 31-12.
Oh, Zenzevich got a pin down there too,
didn't he?
Yeah,
Yes.
he did.
Yep.
So, wow, Fenimore
got on a roll here.
had a roll there, although that one was Iowa Grand Highland wrestler. We're going to see another Ithaca Weston wrestler stepping on the mat. And that's down here on, that's down here on, no, I guess not.
On mat 3, that is going to be a Blair Taylor wrestler. Yeah. Easton Rogstead, a sophomore at 11-19, taking on Tyson Imhoff, the junior from Iowa Grand Highland, and he's going to get the quick pin here, Kirk.
He did. That didn't take long at all. I didn't hardly get it written down.
17-second pin time on that one. Whitehall is going to send out, looks like Jose Cantu Lucio, the sophomore at 9-9. He's got Emerson Moen, the Iowa Grant senior, Highland senior at 32-8. And Moen is out in front quickly.
Now here comes our Ithaca Western wrestler out here on mat number 3. That would be Gabe Friedland from Westby, taking on him, Nolan Waldner, the junior with a 34-10 record at 157. Down on mat number 1, that's at 157 too, and that's Jesse Pinky. Saw him wrestle Tuesday night.
Yeah.
He's, I think he did get 2 losses there. I don't even know if they updated those. He's 11-6 now because we knew he had the 2 losses. He takes on Logan Wolf from Lancaster, and right now Pinky's leading there 2-0. Moen is out in front in his match, 7-1. Is he just scoring some more back points? First takedown down here though by Waldner, and he lets him go against Friedland.
Pinky does pick up a 2 near fall as well, and has slipped out in front 4-0.
Stacked there by Emerson Moen. Didn't quite get him there to get the fall. Oh, another takedown by Waldner from Ithaca Weston down here on mat number 3. He's feeling comfortable on his feet, Ken. He lets him go again.
Yes, I'm a little surprised with that, but maybe they've got a scouting report that says we can do this kind of an attack, and that's what we're going to work on.
You keep an eye on that one, and I'll keep an eye on Mr. Moen there in the center and Mr. Pinky on the other end.
Sounds good. Right now it's 4-2, as we mentioned, with 45 seconds remaining in period number 1. Again, lower left corner of the screen. This time looks like, take a look here on this Friedland trying to come up with a takedown himself over Waldner.
Moen out in front now, 12-1 as they start the second period against Cuscio from Whitehall, right? This one's Whitehall. No,
It's Whitehall.
Whitehall, yeah.
Whitehall, yep.
Oh, Moan getting real close to a fall here. That match should be over here real quick. There it is. Just 25 seconds into the second period. Emerson Moan was leading at the time 14-1 as he comes up with the fall there for IGH.
Waldner picks up another takedown, and he has a 6-2 lead at the end of one.
Pinky down there now has a 6-0 lead as we're about midway through the second period. Going to see our first DeSoto wrestler of the day, Ken. Mat number 2.
Yeah.
That would be at 165. Seth Greeno, and he takes on Anthony Miller, the senior from Aquinas.
And he is our only DeSoto wrestler.
Oh, okay. I think Chad's got a couple female athletes here, though, too.
Yep, he does. You're right.
So we'll catch them in just a little later here today. Greeno does come out and get an early takedown, and looks like he wants to get a nice arm bar in there. Pinky still up 8-0. How you doing down here with Waldner?
Waldner has a 6-3 lead, and he's trying to get another takedown, and he does. Now 8-3 the score. 4
takedowns by Mr. Waldner in this match. Good job.
He's really wrestling well on his feet, no doubt about that.
Yep, fine job. Well, we watched Mr. Pinky there on Tuesday night. Young man, as I was talking to one of the officials, he said he suffered a serious injury in football. Didn't get back here until later in the year.
Oh, wow.
And he just finally said, another one of those deals, the doctor said, well, you can't make it any worse. It's your senior year, your choice. And he's chosen to wrestle as Greeno gets a fall.
Well, he had, what do you have, a double armbar on him or something there?
Something like that. 107, he got the pin there. I was talking about Mr. Pinky there, and I missed Mr. Greeno.
Well, Friedland is trying to come out and around here on Waldner. Waldner is able to maintain control, and actually is going to pick up. That was a takedown, I guess. I didn't realize they were on their feet. And it's a 10-4 lead as we have 20 seconds remaining in period number 2.
We're in the third period down there now on mat number 1. 11-0 lead for Pinky.
Now Friedland is warned for stalling.
Mat number 2, now we're at 165. I believe that's Cade Rule stepping on the mat. The other fine junior, as you mentioned, the Mineral Point team has got those 2 really solid juniors in Rule and in
Carey,
Carey. And they're great leaders, and you get those freshmen going with them.
Yeah.
Rule out there right now, he's just putting on a takedown clinic against Ethan Estrada from Independence. A freshman here. Doesn't have a winning record, but he's the least in the sectional. And if you're going to get beat by somebody the first round, why not get beat by Rule?
Well, you got a good chance of a wrestleback if that happens.
Well, that's for darn sure.
Friedland and Waldner, they both start on their feet here in period number 3. Minute and a half remaining in the match. It's 10-4. Waldner is still out in front.
Pinky leading down there 11-1 in his match. Down to the last minute there. He just needs to be careful. And I think it's actually we saw in the other night, I believe it was his, well, we won't say which shoulder it was. We keep that to ourselves.
There you go.
Kind of give a shout out here since we're in Southwest Wisconsin. It was good to see. Neither one of us were there last week, but it was good to see the young man from Dodgeville, Reed Spurley, get on the mat. And our crew up in Wisconsin Dells will cover him together as hope for that young man to have a great tournament today, too.
Yeah, Wayne and Shelley Keenan over there, and that's all going to be a tape-delayed broadcast, folks. I'm not sure if it was Wrestling Wisconsin, if they're over there. There was an Evansville group, but that is being streamed. But I apologize. I truly do not know who is doing the streaming there, but we will have a tape-delayed broadcast as we follow a number of area Division II teams that have come on board, and that'll be on the WWVP YouTube channel later on tomorrow.
17-3 in favor of Rule as they just get started in the second period. Down the last 10 seconds down there as Pinky is out in front now 13-6, or it might be even 13-7. try for a throw, and it doesn't work out. 13-6 as Pinky wins, and he advances on, and he'll take on that fine sophomore from Iowa Grand Highland, Jackson Bussey. Both Pinky and Bussey state qualifiers last year. Finally in that mat, 19-3, wasn't it, Ken? It must be a final down here at Waldner, too, right?
Yep, he wins 12-5 with his match over Gabe Friedland of Westby. So Ithaca Weston moving on the championship side. And we'll clean things up here and restart on the computer with our 175-pound weight class. 3
matches going on, all new ones, all at once.
Yeah, that doesn't happen very often.
Not too often. We have our last 165-pound match down there on mat number 1. That's Riders and Zavich, the sophomore, taking on Ben Lean of Blair Taylor. Then on mat number 2, we have a Riverdale wrestler out there again, and that would be Riley Wanick. He was out for an injury for a while, too, just getting back going again. He takes on Kellen Getzinger from Pittsville. And then on mat number 1 at 175, that's Iowa Grant. That would be Gavin Hinderman. He takes on the returning state champion, David Moline from Aquinas. That's a tough task there.
That is.
This was the weight class as we saw on Tuesday night. This is where Aquinas really made their comeback and come from behind, we'll have to say, in quite a ways behind.
Yeah.
And they overcame in the end Iowa Grand Highland. Oh, what a throw there by Moline.
Oh, man.
He had that set up perfect, and he just launched Hinderman. And now if he can drag him back in bounds, that match could be over quickly. Well, in their center mat there, as we see Wanick going to town against Getzinger, he has a 4-1 lead now. Down there in the Zavich match on the other end at 165 against Lean. No score down there. Oh, did Hinderman almost score?
Well, what just took place there is Moline picks up some back points and then an escape for Hinderman and one for Moline fleeing the mat.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so it's 10-2.
I could tell that the IG fans, because they're down below us here to the right, you could tell they were excited about something.
Yep.
When you're wrestling defending state champion, you get excited about whatever looks good.
Yes. Scoring some points. Well, speaking of scoring points, look over here on mat 2, Kurt.
Yeah, Wanick is real close to getting the fall there. Riley, I can see another one with that black undershirt, and as he gets the fall there, got to believe maybe he was challenged with some shoulder issues here earlier in the year.
Yeah, good to see him, come back and be able to wrestle. He's just had a very, very nice career for the Chieftains.
Yeah, he has. He's a senior this year. And I believe, if I remember right, I'll catch it up later, but I believe he was a state qualifier last year for Riverdale too.
Yep. We're going to go to 190 pounds on mat number 2, and we're going to see an Iowa Grant Highland wrestler step out onto the mat.
That would, I believe, would be Darren Laufenberg, and he takes on another state runner-up for Aquinas, Tyson Martin.
That could be an interesting match here, too.
Yeah, it could be. This is right now, and then now they even added, Mr. Nicolotti reminded me that fine 215-pounder that Aquinas moved up to heavyweight. He won that Independence regional up there, and he's going to be wrestling here today in that 285-pound bracket. As we saw him on Tuesday night, he had a real good match against the Iowa Grant Highland wrestler and scored big points to get Aquinas back in that match.
Yep.
And then he also had a really interesting match against defending state champion Evan Gratz in the finals. Or Gratz.
Gratz, yes.
Gratz.
Yes.
I'll get the R in there. Right now, though, it's Martin comes out with an early takedown against Laufenberg. Still no score down there in the second period of that match with Zinzevich and the young Lean from Blair Trailer.
Well, we just got a takedown here on mat number 3 to make the score 12-3 with Moline of Aquinas leading Hinderman of Iowa Grand Highland. That was kind of one of those where they were squirreling around, and finally Moline came out on top. Now he's got a quick tilt here and picking up some more back points. He'll extend that lead even more.
There's a pin by Martin in the center, Matt, there as he pins at 190 for Aquinas over Darren Laufenberg.
Martin runs his record of 37-3 now as the state runner-up. Looking to get back to the podium next weekend.
As Ken said, last year Aquinas just had a great semifinal round at the state tournament. And was it 5 or 6 of them they put into the finals?
Yeah.
And one of them that didn't get there was Jake Fitzpatrick, the state champion.
Who everybody was kind of thinking, oh, let's pencil him in, but that wasn't to be the case.
No, it wasn't be the case. Still 0-0 now. We're starting the third period down there. Now we got a skate point, though, so it's 1-0 in favor of Lean from Blair Taylor. Another Riverdale wrestler on the mat, Ken.
I was just going to say, we've got Riverdale and Royal stepping out here on the mat.
That's Trenton Fry from Royal as he takes on the other fine senior from Riverdale, Caden Renish.
Yeah, Renish has just been, you watched him last year, and that's when we kind of saw, basically even, we just have a tech fall here.
Tech
we'll come back.
by,
Yep, 18-3 by Moline. So he'll move on. That was 1:34 remaining in the third period. So a nice job there by Moline. Yeah, anyways, going back here with Renish, I think it was his sophomore year, 2 years ago. You just saw all of a sudden at the Richmond Center invite, just the confidence came out, and he has been on an upswing ever since.
Yeah, he just had a fine year last year, state qualifier. We're going to see Jack Shire here pretty soon from Cashier. We don't want to miss him either.
Yep. He's out. He's coming up.
Coming up soon here.
On mat number 3, we have another Royal Panther out here on the mat, and this is Samson Degner, the junior at 31-7, taking on Nathan Blaschke of junior from Fenimore, 27-14. Blaschke will pick up the first takedown, though.
Okay, here this Howler, that's a Fenimore getting excited there, but that was Renish getting the pin in the center. I thought that was a Riverdale fan cheering. But it's actually Fenimore cheering at the far end as they're actually getting some scoring down there. And there's the pin down there, and that would be for Riders in Zavich. And that's kind of a semi-upset because the young man Ben Lean came in as the super regional champion. He caught him there in a tight match and pinned him in the third period.
Yeah, and it was a tight one. It was a 2-1 score. Ryder was out in front, but he put those shoulders on the mat to finish things off.
This is, that's Blair Taylor there. That's all the way up 215. That's going to be Jackson Schrammick there at 215. And he comes out against Mac Busser from Mineral Point.
Yeah, Schrammick, the returning state champ here, Kirk. Folks will want to keep an eye on him.
There's Shire. He's finally going to come on mat number 1 down there as he takes on Nolan Hanky, we'll say. I don't make it Honky. Doesn't sound right. Hanky, I think it is.
I think it's Hanky, yeah.
From Lancaster, the sophomore, 30-10. And Shire, the senior, 33-11. I'll let you keep an eye on that one, Ken.
You bet.
You got that Westby blood and Cashton football blood in you. You've had a great time, I know, watching Caston football the last couple of years.
The last 3 years has been unbelievable.
Yep. Schrammick doing quick work out here, leading 2-0, though. Busser is another one of those. He is a senior for Mineral Point. They'll miss him next year.
All right, they just announced they're going to go right into the semifinals, but they will not start semis until all of the quarterfinal matches have been completed.
That's nice. Things are moving along very efficiently. Is a good word.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
because we're at 215 on the one-weight class, and these are the last 2 matches at 175. And again, we're getting caught, like you say, where these matches were on deck because there's 3 matches. Although Renish he won his match. We must have missed that as far as a pin.
He did get the pin, yeah.
Yeah, so there's 2 matches left at 190 already as we get up to 175 there.
Still no score down on mat number 1 between Schreier and Wolf. That's been, they just kind of been going back and forth a little bit there.
Now Wolf trying to do a lateral. Schreier came in and was trying for deep double leg. It's kind of a balance situation here.
I said Wolf, it's Hankey, I'm sorry.
Oh, okay, sorry. Well, they keep wanting to throw each other around, and Hankey came up with the throw and got out on top. Going to get 2 for the takedown and 2 for the near fall. He's going to have a 4-0 lead.
Well, he got his hips underneath, and he launched Schreier. And Schreier did a nice job of, basically being able to fight off that pinning combination.
They were both in the same position. They both had an underhook and an arm, and it was a matter of who got the better position. And probably Schreier's a little bit handicapped there because he's shorter, and sometimes in those kind of positions, the taller guy usually wins.
Yep.
Schramik making quick work over here as he was only up 4-2, but 15 seconds to go. He could get the fall here before this period runs out. So he's got that in tight, but now Busser rolls the other way, and it should at least survive the period.
Degner trails Blaschke 6-2. Both wrestlers on their feet. And now Blaschke will pick up another takedown. Trying to do an arm spin was Degner, and there was just nothing there. And then Blaschke took advantage of it, keeping the head posted and scooted around behind for the takedown. 8-2, end of the second period, and now they're going to go back on their feet. Degner has his choice, and the coaching staff says, yeah, let's go neutral.
Yep.
Third period.
Schreier down there did score at the end of the first period, but now he's being ridden fairly well by Honky.
Yeah.
But he's got a good position. He just got to keep moving his hips to keep that leg from getting locked. Oh, no. Honky is coming in and wants to try a near side cradle. He gets that lock up now. He just brought, that was another interesting move. He brought the wrong leg up, Ken, and now he's in bad shape because he did lock up that cradle, and he's got him fairly tight.
Hankey's got that in good position.
I did a nice job of fighting out of it, though. So he lived through that one, but now he trails 7-1. So, and now we're going to have some blood time. So Ken and I will go somewhere else.
Yep, we'll get that one fixed up.
Tramik still out in front, 7-3. Started out like a house of fire there, and I thought he was going to make short work here of Busser, but Busser has been hanging in there.
Busser does a nice job of fighting things off, and he kind of slowed down that tempo of Schramik, at least for a few moments anyways.
And we saw that, not to, pick on Jackson much, but because he is a defending state champion, he can get himself. We saw Teak Perkins, or I did anyway. I saw Teak Perkins pin him in the finals up at the Royal Invitational early in the year. But then I think he also then came back and won the Northern Badger up there at River Falls.
Right.
So he's had an kind of up and down year, but I take Jackson Schramik on my team any day.
Oh, gosh, no kidding.
He really goes. Last year at 190, the state champion. This year up to 215.
Blaschke has now built a lead of 14-4 over Degner. Now Degner with a nice double leg gets the takedown. He'll close the gap, but he still trails, and that's going to probably be the end of the match. It'll be a major decision for Nathaniel Blaschke out of Fenimore. That is it, 14-6 your score. Nathan Blaschke.
Yeah, Fenimore keeps rolling the guys through there. They haven't lost many, Ken.
No, they have not. 7-3 the score now. Schreier picking up some points. And he's going to try and work in a half Nelson here. He's got a half and a wrist trying to stretch out Hankey. Hankey back to his base, though, fighting that pinning combination. Now Schreier wants to go into a head lever. And, boy, what a great job just throwing those hips back in was Hankey. And he winds up knocking Schreier off balance, off his base, and he picks up the reversal, and it's back to a 6-point advantage, 9-3.
If you're going to do a step over, you got to get that person on their hip and down, and he did. Schramik comes up with a pin here in the second period, and his quarterfinal action with 13 seconds to go. So that would be a 347 pin for Schrammick at 215, and that's our first semifinalist there in that weight class.
We're going to bump into that 190-pound range, Kirk, as Sam Schwingles out of Parkview, Albany, 46-2 is his record, taking on Ryan McCoy, the sophomore, at 25-12 from Hillsboro.
That's at 190, Ken. That's down here. Okay, then 215, we do have another Parkview wrestler out there. And he's taking on the young man from New Lisbon, isn't he? Yeah, Trey Bailey, the senior, taking on Wesley Egan from Parkview, Albany at 215.
Yeah, we watched
junior at 46-2. That's a fine record.
We watched Egan last week. He wrestled very well.
Well, so Schreier's still in striking distance down there, but now the clock is running against him. Is coming close to getting another takedown here. Needs to trip him down and not lose his balance again as Honky tries to do that balance thing with him again. And by God, he's going to get it again.
He is. He's
got great hips, and now he could take Schreier over and put him on his back, too.
Remember, Hankey had such a great clash tournament. That's kind of the way he wrestled there. You're absolutely right. Those hips of his are fantastic.
He's doing a lot of what we call Granby-type rolls.
Yep.
Before I get a chance, I saw our blood guy out there was Mr. Matt Rasmussen, our fellow colleague. There you go. Thank you. He's out here doing radio today, Mr. Chuck Rasmussen.
Yep.
Matt's been doing a fine job down there, kind of taking over the legacy of his dad, helping with the wrestling program and coaching.
Yeah. He's been doing that quite a while now.
He has, yep. He's got some of his own charges coming up through the ranks there, too. I don't know if they're going to wrestle or not, but we'll see.
Yep.
Still a 4-1 score down here in our match at 190. As Ken said, that is another Parkville Albany wrestler, Sam Schwingles. He takes on one of the few Hillsboro wrestlers here, and that's the fine sophomore, Ryan McQuake, who ended up being a runner-up last week to Tyson Martin at that Independence Super Regional.
And that's a 4-1 score.
11-3 was the final down there in Schreier's match as Honky from Lancaster moves on.
So a major decision there. And, well, Jack Schreier will now cheer on Hankey to see if he can pick up a win in the semifinal. I don't know who he's going to have here.
He's got David Moline.
Oh, that's going to be a tough one.
Yeah.
Got to tackle the returning state champ.
Returning state champion, yep. So now we step into 190 down there on the far mat, and that is the fine. He's got ties to, used to be in the Westby area, Wyatt Annan, the senior. He takes on Jackson Durr from Pittsville, a freshman with basically a 500 record. And you look at a freshman up at 190, you know, he's doing pretty well to have a winning record.
A 500 record, that's good at 190.
Yeah.
My goodness, that's crazy.
Yep, crazy. Yep.
Anand does release here. It's 2-1. Looking for another takedown. He does that.
And he's looking for a nice cross-face cradle now. We'll see if he gets that locked up. In our center mat, it's 2-0. And that's in favor of the young man from New Lisbon at 215. And that would be Trey Bailey. Trey Bailey's another one, you know, he's I got that right, don't I? He's on top, Bailey.
On mat 2?
Yeah, mat 2.
Let me take a quick
They're
look
both
here.
Blue uniforms, so I'm trying to decide whose blue is blue.
Bailey is trailing 2-0.
Okay. So it is the young man. Okay, yep, the young man from Parkview that's ahead. That was the one you said, that Wesley Egan.
Yep.
He's a tall, physical young man.
He is very physical, yeah.
Oh, McQuake now in trouble. He's in a cradle down here in his match at 190 against Sam Schwingles. Again, another fine senior, as Ken mentioned. They got two really good, right in here, two weight classes go, 190 and 215. Both of them come in with 46-2 records.
Yeah, that's a nice 1-2 punch right there.
Yep. But they both ran into some tough wrestlers last week. On and beating probably Schwingles. And Egan also probably losing to Brokop.
Yeah.
Brokop's one of those wrestlers from Iowa Grand Highland. He's so tall and so long and strong. You know, things seem to sometimes go for him most of the time really well, but every once in a while he has, and then we're going to get close to a fall here now. That's the other way around, though, isn't it?
Nope. That is East Egan with the pin.
Oh, he did come back with a pin.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep. Yeah, those uniforms can be
those
deceiving.
two are very close together, but the young man from Overville Parkview, but now you got to throw Albany in there too. So,
well, now you're going to see Brockup step out onto the mat, and he's going to be taking on Barulo Rodriguez from Brookwood. Rodriguez gets to come into the tournament as a Pittsville wrestler who had qualified, was not able to go due to an injury. And that's why we have Barulo out here on the mat.
Yeah, that was one of those that least occurred earlier in the week, and so they could got close to a fall down here at 190, and that is Sam Swingles, who we were talking about earlier. So both of those fine Parkview wrestlers move on to the semifinals and increase their records on the year.
Yeah.
So now we're getting real close. We're going to be down to 285. Yeah.
Barulo Rodriguez comes in at a record of 16-17, the senior, and Bodie Brockup, of course, at 29-10. He's only a junior.
We're getting up real quick here into 285 as we only got one match left at 190, and that's down there on mat number 1. And now we're up to 215 on both the other two matches. That should be the other fine sophomore. You got a pin there, though, on mat number 2, didn't you?
Yep, Brockup comes up with the pin in 59 seconds. And he'll move on. And Barulo, well, he might be able to get a wrestle back. You'll have to wait and see.
And Brady Linner is kind of lurking in that bracket, so that could be interesting. This is that matchup that we want to see here, because this was a big match on Tuesday night. You expected Brady to, kind of dominate because he's a returning state returning state runner-up at this weight class. And he went out there and he was doing exactly what he's doing right now with Wolf. And then all of a sudden, Wolf caught him with a headlock and pinned him.
Yeah.
So this is an interesting matchup going on down here. You keep an eye on that one, Ken, as I look at the other two. In the center mat, we're all the way up to 285, and that would be the Mineral Point wrestler. That's Matt Arut. He takes on Caden. I should have let you pronounce that name. Baelish. I'm going to go with the beginning the first time crucifying it. Still no score in that.
Yeah, but I want to say Baselic.
Baselic, that sounds even better. Thanks, Ken.
And Alrit comes in at 26-17, the junior.
Got blood time on mat 3, so now we are down to those two. It's 14-1 down there on mat number 1, and that is Anand having his way down there. And that would be our last match at 190 down there.
Yeah, he's just been moving up and doing whatever, he's able to do, and he's on the verge of getting a tech fall.
This Baelish, he's got, one of those really unique afros, man. That stands way up on his head there. Definitely can say we don't have a hair rule anymore.
No, that's true.
14-1 down there on mat number 1. Still on and out in front. Still no score on mat 2. And we have a serious blood issue there. Not sure if that's Anand or...
Yeah. Baselic, by the way, comes in with a record. He just tried to throw right here. Comes in with a record of 34-14. Both these wrestlers out here are juniors. They could see each other again next year.
Boy, Leonard just really wants that upper body stuff. And
yeah.
Wolf is doing a great job of blocking it, but his coaches must have talked to him about it since Tuesday night and telling him to watch his position, but and there he tries to go again.
Oh, boy.
And we'll see how this goes.
Can he get over? There's a lot of leverage. Oh, he
and
couldn't do it.
Caught again. He's got that tight, Ken.
Well, he does. 20 seconds to go in the period. Wow.
He pinned it again.
Wolf coming up big.
And that puts Brady Leonard in a precarious position because the last couple weeks, Bodie Brokaw has kind of owned Dalton Wolf.
Yes, exactly. That's going to be a tough one right there. You're absolutely right.
That's the semifinal action, is those two going at it. And that just really surprises me that Coach from Aquinas didn't work with him on that. He just got in that same position of trying to go leverage with him, and Wolf is just so long to do that. Down the other end, though, we have Neef from Ithaca Weston down there. That's at 285. That'd be Mac Neef as he takes on that senior we were talking about, Brett Zilkowski from Aquinas. It's still 5-0 in the center mat there, as you mentioned, at 285. And that is Baelish out in front, 5-1 over Errett. Now we're going to have the fine sophomore from Riverdale take the mat down here, Grant Matthews, as he takes on Henry Brigham from Cashton.
This will be an interesting one. Of course, Matthews, boy, he is so solid. Henry having a nice year for the Eagles. But Matthews comes in right away with that double underhook, now a body lock here. And trying to load him up, and now he'll bring Brigham down to the mat here. And he's going to look for the fall right away. And he got it.
There we go.
22-second pin here for Matthews of Riverdale. He comes in with now a record of 41-5 after that pin. And Henry will drop to 39-12.
So we're down to our 285-pound matches. Finally a score down there on mat number 1-0 now in favor of Zukowski. Still 7-2 in the middle here for Baelish. Now we're going to have a Royal wrestler, Mad McCluskey. He's got a tall task with a 13-21 record, and he's going to take on Evan Gratz from Fenimore.
Yeah, that is a tough one right there. Returning state champ, and he has got a ton of energy. We're back up on our feet here. It's a 7-2 lead for Pittsville as we begin period number 3 on mat number 2. Basilic with that lead over Aurit of Mineral Point. Meanwhile, McCluskey and Gratz set to come out on mat 3. Zilkowski with a 1-0 lead over Mac Neef of Ithaca Weston. Those wrestlers are on their feet. Again, 285 pounds out here on the mats.
Last 3 matches of this round. And as I said earlier, it told Ken and I on the PA there, they're going to go right into semifinal action on all 3 mats.
Basilic gets another takedown and extends the lead to 9-2 on mat 2. Hope you're enjoying today's broadcast. We will have women's wrestling coming up after the semifinals of the guys division. 40 wrestlers in the women's side of things. Here's Gratz with a pinning combination, and he does pick up the pin in about 44 seconds, it looks like, over McCluskey of Royal.
I said that to somebody else that I believe it's a young man from up north somewhere that's ranked ahead of him. And it's hard to believe anybody is ranked ahead of him, and he's the defending state champion.
Right.
But he comes up with a first period pin here and moves on, and he'll take on the winner of that match down there on mat number, right here in the center. Match between Pittsville and that's almost the final, though, in favor of Baelish.
Yeah, he's going to come up with a 11-4 lead.
Down to the last 5 seconds, so we'll pencil him in.
3-0 lead over there on mat number 1 with Aquinas and Zilkowski now.
Yep. McNeef almost got a nice roll there, but Zilkowski with Brett was able to fight his way through that.
We're going to, once we get ready here, just so you know, Kirk, I'm going to hit stop on the recording and then restart here.
That's fine.
As we go into our semifinals, kind of break things up a little bit here. Kind of helps with the editing some.
It helps with the editing, and it helps with getting a chance to throw some of our fine sponsors in there,
Yep.
give them credit on the day.
Absolutely. Yeah, we appreciate everyone's support here. And again, as we mentioned, I hope you're enjoying today's broadcast. Right now, go ahead there, Kirk.
No, I was just going to mention, they just mentioned Baselich's name, so I think we pronounced it right, too.
Oh, good. Good guess.
Yeah, young man from WIAA Fremont, which they did make the state tournament to wrestle, chance to wrestle Fenimore down there. Vanden Hoffman is his name, is ranked number 1 over Gratz.
I'll be darned. Okay.
Then Matthews is ranked number 3.
31 score here. Zukowski with the lead over Neef. Neef's going to get away here. It's a 3-2 score with 20 seconds remaining in the match. Trying to come up with a big takedown in the win. But I don't know. It's going to be a tough one here.
As Ken mentioned, we'll go right into the semifinals on all 3 mats, so that'll move fairly quickly. And then we'll come back with our first women's action of the day, which will be quarterfinals in at least 3 weight classes.
Yep. Well,
there's the final there.
3-2 is your score here. We hope you're enjoying watching today's WIAA broadcast of Western Wisconsin Video Production. And we're going to take a very, very quick break, and I mean quick. We're going to swallow water, and we're going to come right back here with semifinal action here at Mineral Point.